Good afternoon. I think it's afternoon. Good afternoon. It's Saturday. It is, yeah, it's just afternoon on Saturday. A very cold, wet Saturday. Here in the northeast, we've been having a lot of below normal temperatures and lots of rain and lots of flooding. The back of my condo is like underwater. There's just so much rain which has been running down the hill. I know this is, I don't believe I did a video last week. I have my brother and his wife visiting from England. And we jokingly said we think they brought the rain with them, other than England is experiencing a heat wave. So if you're catching me from the UK, I don't know what it's like now, but I know the 5 days that my brother was with me when he first arrived wasn't even warm. Or I'm just thankful that I've still got heat on in the condo. They used to turn it off, so I don't want to jinx it, but we've certainly needed it for most of this week. It seems to have been an interesting few weeks. Had some changes in sort of what we thought we were going to do when my brother was here. But one of the experiences I had was that I live quite close to Salem, Massachusetts, so the Salem witches. And I sort of knew some of the history, but I didn't know all of it. And I think so I do remember I came on, say I've been off work and then back to work and everything so I did actually do a video. But, just this out-of-body experience that I had regarding the Salem witches is still sort of there with me. I still feel like it's almost, I was like pulled into that time period. So that's sort of been interesting. And also I just posted on Facebook that next month in June, so it will be sort of 4 weeks' time, I've been invited back to the western part of the state to do a day of dragon channeling. And we've decided that they're actually going to do, the two women out there actually do past life regression. So they're going to regress me, and then I'm going to channel. And she posted it as trans channeling, which I guess it is, because I'm going to be trans channeling because I'm going to be regressed back, and it'll be interesting to see or which dragons, or does the collective come forward to talk about that. And then I'm going to do some dragon readings and talk a little bit about the history, what I know of dragons, why dragons are here, all those good things, and answer questions. So if you live close to, or for me, it's a 2-hour drive. So I'm actually going out on Friday and staying overnight. And it's a 4-hour event and it's free. So it'll be fun because I've not done it before. I've certainly done past life regression, but I've not done it in front of an audience. So, and if you've been following me any length of time, you know that I'm up for anything, especially when it involves the dragons. I'm like, they guided me. And I've told this story before, that when I saw this expo, the Spring Equinox Expo, I was like, oh, I want to do that. But it was 2 hours away. And I was thinking, do I really want to go? And the dragons said very clearly, you need to be there. You need to go. And I had no idea why. And this has been the outcome, right? Because this is where I'm going to actually be allowing the dragons to speak. So stay tuned. I will. And I may have told you all this. It's been a very weird week for me, because Monday and Tuesday I was off, and then Wednesday through Friday I had a hectic work few days. And also having family here for me it's been actually really nice to have my own family here. We don't have any family in the United States, so it's sort of nice having blood relative here, and it's just my brother and I now. So, and as I'm talking, I'm like, I think I told you all this. So I thought I would, as it's Saturday and it's a miserable day, and if I don't do this, I'll just be doing chores. I thought, let's see what the fairies have to say. They, again, have been very active this week. A lot of Atlantis energy. You've noticed, I will say, the Atlantis dragons are, and it's all about protecting Mother Gaia. I've seen the umbrellas, the shields up, the EMF. Now I understand where I live, there's one of the Russian space junk could land somewhere. We're in the path tonight of where it could eventually fall out of the sky. So yeah, some interesting things, and actually some interesting lessons. One, in patience, I realised I've had a couple of, day-to-day living stuff, but we have spring water delivered from a water company, and I've had no problems with this company for probably the last 3 years, if not longer. Previous one started doing, missing deliveries and then not sending any, and it became, and I changed to this new company. Well, it's just merged a couple of companies together, and on Thursday I got no water. And when I called at 8 o'clock in the morning, I thought, I'll get right on this, 8 o'clock in the morning. There was more than a 60-minute wait. And I was like, I haven't got time to do that. Not even putting them on hold. There was no option to call me back when there's a customer service free. So I waited till the afternoon thinking, well, maybe if they were running late, they'll come. Well, that was too much logical thinking. So they hadn't come. So eventually I had a 30-minute wait, and I was assured that they will bring water this week and gave me a discount, so that's good. And then I realised that I ordered, and I've talked about this, I'm going to grow herbs this year rather than, I'll probably do some flowers, but it's been so wet. But I've had my pots all prepared thinking, I ordered them from a catalogue company. I've used them for the last 3 or 4 years. And I realised that I'm like, here we are, it's the middle of May, and I don't have them. And of course, when you go online, it says that they're sending, whatever that means. It's not like dispatch or whatever, they're sending. But I've had no email, nothing to say they're on the way. And of course, I tried to call on Friday, and it was the end of the day and the phones were always off. So it's it's reminding me that just take a deep breath, right? None of this is going to kill me. It's like, it's an inconvenience, but, let's really think about, take a deep breath, and it will all work out in the end, right? So I felt that was a lesson for me, which was just slow it down. And I've certainly been hearing that, and I'm sure some of you have as well. So let's see what... let me do some fairy cards. I've given them a good shuffle because I keep getting the same. Oh, now they're all going to fall out. So let's see what's shown up. See if any of them make sense that flew out. So be honest with yourself. So just talking about that. And this came up this week. Be honest with yourself. Inner child. Again, I've been hearing a lot when I do these during the week, and a lot of these are actually that have come through. So let me shuffle a few more and hope they don't fly out. So inner child, I think that's talking about us sometimes just letting loose, right? Bring that inner child out. Do, as I said, the message was about, do some painting, go and walk in the mud, do something that your inner child wants to do, right? I'm not talking about the serious work. The fairies aren't very serious today, or peace of mind. So whatever has been bothering you, I'm hearing that a lot of people are feeling very troubled. That's a lot to do with what's going on in the United States. It's a lot to do with our day-to-day safety is what I'm hearing. Day-to-day, am I going to be okay? That's what I'm hearing. And often the fairies tell me that these are direct messages. Like with the dragons, they're often talking to everybody, and it's a generalized. These are the people that need to hear these messages today. Well, they'll be the ones that will hear this. So peace of mind is coming to you. Visualization. Yeah, so I think a lot more people are waking up to their psychic gifts. I was just listening to Jane Van Prague, who I followed. So he says he's been a psychic for 40 years. So maybe I've been following him for that long. I've lived here for so good 25, 30 years. And he talks a lot about his gifts, how he wasn't doing this all his life. But I always think he's got some really useful, and he was talking about his tools for connecting with the other side. And I guess a lot of my beliefs he talks about. So that's always interesting. So visualization. Also, they're reminding me that the veil, for a lot of us that are here for a reason. We're here because we're here to bring the vibration of Mother Gaia. We're helping raise that vibration. The dragons are coming in and helping us as well to elevate, to get rid of. We've had the wind dragon a few times saying that he's coming in to move away all of that doesn't serve us right now. So that's still very much there. Oh, vacation. Yes, I need a vacation. Yes, I have got. So if you, it's that time of year, you've either planned it the beginning of the year, right? If you're going away, you need to do that. Or you're going to do a last minute vacation. I probably do something in September. So let's do one more. Family harmony. And this came up. And I think that was because I have family here. And even though I say to the fairies when I'm pulling them, this is a general, this is for anybody that's watching me, and I know some of you watch on my Facebook page every day and see the messages. So this is, if there has been, I'm hearing if there's been disharmony, if you haven't been getting on, that there's going to be a resolution and there's going to be much more understanding and harmony. So they tell me one more. Moving forward fearlessly. Yeah. So family harmony, you can now move forward fearlessly. I like that. So let's, oh, excuse me, and the pollen, like we had, nothing happened, and then we had rain and it warmed up, and then everything shot their pollen out. So there's a lot of people, and it's probably my throat chakra as well, but there's a lot of people suffering with allergies. So let's see what the dragons have to say. Oh, sister dragon. And that isn't necessarily a biological sister. Oh, here we go. Merlin the dragon. Wizardry. Let's see how many more. Let's do two more. The fire dragon. I think that's about burning up. What's there? And, oh, Merlin again. Listen. Okay, so let's talk to the dragons. So we've got two Merlin cards and the sister dragon and the fire dragon. So the fire dragons are saying, like I was talking about the wind dragons who will come in, lift up that we're shedding. They will also blow things, move it out of our way. The fire dragons come in and burn up the lower energies. So yeah, burns lower energies. So they're saying that whatever you're shedding, whatever you're getting rid of, it's spring. So they're saying spring cleaning. I'm looking at my wardrobe. I'm second year of, if I worn this, it needs to go. Downsizing, they're showing me going through old treasures. So that's probably why Merlin's here. Or just doing a spring clean of your body is what they're saying. But whatever you shed, they will burn up. And they want to remind you that these particular group of dragons, and they're saying not all dragons, but dragons that are connected with me, and I've said this many times, that when you see them breathing fire, it won't burn you. It doesn't burn the ground. It just burns what is in its path or what needs to be extinguished. But they're not fighting dragons, and they're emphasizing that. And I think that, so they're saying that they've got a lot of things that they want to download to me, so that when I talk about, because I always say what I know about dragons, I've learned from the dragons, and mine are very prescriptive. And I know that, so they're saying that they're showing me their heart, and they're saying they get upset when people think that they're fighting dragons. And they're saying just because we're big, and a lot of the dragons that I see, if you've seen any pictures of my sky dragons, and I've described most dragons I see are enormous, huge wingspans, huge wingspans, and then their hearts extend out into their wings. So they say, so when they wrap their wings around you, you feel that in your heart. And again, I'm going to tell you a story that I have told before, but this indicates exactly what dragons can do. And it always brings tears to my eyes. So I was going on a guided meditation with a group of people, and we were going to meet the inner earth people. And the minute that that intention was set, these two red dragons swooped in. They told me they're twins, and they took me as fast as possible. When I looked down, I was over what looked like to me was the Himalayas, and there was a monastery, but it was, very high up with just a road going up, and I could just see the tops of it. And then there was this shimmering portal, and they deposited me in the portal, like they dropped me in, and I was spinning down. They came with me, and as I sort of shot out, it was like a laundry chute. I was shot out into this most beautiful, words don't describe it, but just breathtakingly beautiful. Lots of amethyst, lots of waterfalls. I was extremely high up, looking down on, almost like looking down on I'm going to say a gorge is what they're saying to me. So like mountains on either side, and then down below, sort of a bit like they're saying the Grand Canyon, and the river running through the rocks. And while I was like literally, my breath was taken away with how beautiful it was, with, hanging baskets or just hanging greenery and waterfalls. In the distance, I heard a rumbling. I mean, sort of like like the ground was almost shaking, but it was rumbling. And I was like, that's interesting. I could see these, at least I could see a distinctive, very vivid colours coming at me very fast. And I got the message that this was a thunder of dragons. And I was like, whoa. And they literally came so fast, and they stopped like this close to me, all of them. And there was a lot, but I saw probably 5 or 6 in my peripheral vision that stopped very, very close to me. And they were very, very vivid colours, bright yellow, bright red, bright orange, bright green, bright blue, but very, very vivid colours. And they said, we want you to hold our face. And they said, like this, we want you to look into our eyes. And each one of them allowed me to look into their beautiful, beautiful eyes. And lots of people see dragon eyes, but this was, and I remember at one point as I made that contact with their eyes, that my heart just burst open. I mean, it was just like, I guess if it was animated, it was just like all this vivid color. I mean, it just burst open, and it was like it exploded, and it sort of took my breath away. And I was like, wow. And they said, the windows and doors of your heart have been blown open, and you are now open-hearted, and that is where you need to be. That is how you will connect with us and other collectives, other dragons. Your heart is fully open. And I wanted to cry, and it was just the most just beautiful, beautiful experience. And then they left. And these were then the collective that came in, that connected with me as they were coming to Earth. And they were coming from galaxies, star systems, you name it. They said they've been coming for years as a collective. And as they were coming closer to Earth, because their mission was for Earth, that I would see them as rainbows in the clouds, not a traditional rainbow, that rainbow that does that. These are just like rainbows in the clouds, and I think they have a name, but that would be a sign that they were arriving. And since then, I've seen multiple times people post them. I've seen them here. Sometimes they're almost like an oil painting, sort of, or muted colors, and other times they're very vivid. They can be just a little bit, or they can be like a big cloud. But that is a sign that it's a dragon collective that is coming here to help us. So if you see them, just acknowledge them. So that for me was what sort of shifted my connection with dragons, was meeting them. And then they told me that my dragons, who were them, that they lived in Earth, and they had what they called quick access to the galaxies through inner Earth. I didn't see it, but it was like off to the left. It was like, I want to say it was like a tunnel, but they said they could go out of there and quickly into the galaxy, either to help dragons, because there are still dragons that are on planets that don't realize that it's safe. And for some of them, it might not be safe, but that's a whole nother story. But I just want to illustrate that, when they talk about the fire dragons in particular, they're saying thank you because they wanted you to understand that their fire won't hurt you, and they're very heart-centered. So the sister dragon, the bond is never broken. So if you are a sister, older sister, younger sister, a twin sister, you know that bond, you know that, you feel it, you know it. But it also applies to, and this is why it was given to me as sister, because oftentimes we're not blood connected, but we're probably from a soul connection, is what I'm hearing, or we've spent many lifetimes together. So if this talks to you, that's for you this week. Or you may be reconnecting, that's what I'm hearing, reconnecting with sister, which goes with the family. So Merlin, wizardry, and listen. So Merlin loves to jump in with his wizardry. He's showing me he's actually showing me, the classic wand, the black wand with the white on the end. And he's saying, yes, I'm a sorcerer. I'm a magician. Just talk to me. I can listen. So even though he's a wizard, and you might see him as this wizard, you might see him as a dragon, he's a shapeshifter. So he shapeshifts from Merlin to dragon and back. And he says he likes to do both. He likes being a dragon because he can fly really fast. But he is also a really, really good listener. And again, he's reminding us, and he's showing me sitting in a really big, comfy chair, actually showing me like an oversized chair, a bit like when you go to, he's saying Disney. I don't remember this, but there's a big chair. He's saying it's in Alice in Wonderland, where you sit in the chair, but the chair is enormous, so it makes you look really small. So that may be true. I don't know. I don't remember. When we went many years ago, I had boys, so they probably weren't interested in Alice in Wonderland. But that's what he's showing me. He's referring me to Alice in Wonderland and the big chair. He's going, sit in a big chair, close your eyes, and just relax and just listen. Like, work on blocking everything else out, but listening for the messages. He's saying, even though your feet won't touch the ground, ground yourself. So intentionally ground yourself, and just listen. And you've heard me quote him. He's saying, in the stillness, you will hear me. So in those quiet periods, like when nothing else is going on, is when you're going to get a message. And he said, just put out that I want a message from Merlin or ask me a question, and then sit quietly and you'll get the answer. So if you do that and you get it, just let me know. Just leave a message, or you can connect with me at eastcoastdragonlady@gmail.com. My website is www.eastcoastdragonlady.com. And you'll find on YouTube and on my Facebook page. So I think they're the messages for, how have I done, 25 minutes. So I don't think there's anything else right now. They're saying, this morning I wrote, rain, rain, go away, come again another day. That reminds me of my childhood, right? So growing up in England, it always seemed to rain a lot. And always when we were on school break, and we'd be like, oh, it's raining. So it was, rain, rain, go away, come again another day. That they got me to post that today. So I am going to go off and have some lunch. I'm also going to help my son connect with some energies. One other thing before I go. As you're spring cleaning, so they just reminded me, as you're spring cleaning clothes and moving stuff around, remember to sage your house. So we learned that we had a few unwanted spirits in our house a few days ago, and a few demonic entities that were trying to irritate my son. They've been cleared out of the house, so I really shouldn't be talking about them, but we've been saging. So I have been using, actually I'm waiting for a new sage stick to come, sage incense and sage or smokeless sage in a spray bottle. I love that because, I've done that in my office where I used to work. Spray yourself in the morning with sage because it gets into your aura, all of that good stuff. But remember, when you're doing all the other cleaning, remember to clean yourself inside now and clean your home. If you're somewhere warmer, open the windows, open the doors, sage and everything will leave. So I'll leave you with that. Have a good week.